Top 10 Museums in Prague. Steeped in history, the cobbled streets of Prague's old town are marvelous to wander around, as fine buildings, lovely architecture and lofty spires look down upon you. Interspersed amongst all of this are some fantastic museums which are sure to delight visitors to the city. Littered with weird and wacky museums that are featured alongside more serious and refined art collections, Prague certainly has something for everyone to enjoy. 10. Museum of Communism. Located in the center of the city, the Museum of Communism is a well-presented and well-thought-out place which remarkably manages to be as entertaining as it is informative and educational. With the walls coated in propaganda posters, wandering around the exhibit is a fascinating affair, and the statues, uniforms, and memorabilia really do manage to highlight what life would have been like in Prague under communist rule. There are a plethora of interesting items to check out, and the short clips, audios and display panels really help to put the objects into their historical context. 9. Apple Museum. With the largest private collection of Apple products in the world, this museum offers an interesting look into the life of Apple's founder Steve Jobs and how the company came to be one of the most valuable on Earth. Taking you through the history of the company and its products, visitors can clearly see its extraordinary impact on technology and how it has impacted the world of today. A must-see for Apple lovers and technology aficionados, perusing Apple's influential inventions and creations is a fascinating experience. 8. Mucha Museum. Located in a delightful Baroque palace in the new town, the Mucha Museum is dedicated to the life and works of this amazing and influential artist. With over 100 exhibits on show, the museum takes you on a journey through the Czech artist's personal life, with old photos and memorabilia telling the story of how he came up with the distinctive style that found its way into his impressive art. On top of the posters, drawings and oil paintings that are also exhibited, visitors can enjoy a documentary on the life and times of the famous artist. 7. Greven Museum, Prague. Much like Madame Tussauds, the Greven Museum in Prague exhibits amazing waxwork figures which are uncannily lifelike to behold. Wandering around the museum, you pass over 80 people from different walks of life. A fun museum to visit. You can create your own waxwork figures through a 3D program, and you can even play a game against some of the athletes on show. 6. Speculum Alchemiae Museum. Just one of Prague's many weird and wacky museums, the Speculum Alchemiae Museum looks at the history of alchemy and how for so many centuries, alchemists strove to turn lead into gold. Located in one of the oldest buildings in Prague, skulls, potions, pots and more are scattered around this fun exhibition. Visiting the ancient laboratory is a magical experience. You really do feel as if you have stepped back in time. 5. Jewish Museum. With one of the most extensive collections of Judaic artifacts in the world, the Jewish Museum in Prague is well worth visiting for the massive range of items and objects on show, encompassing everything from old manuscripts and clothes to Torahs and photos. While its exhibitions are fascinating to walk around, the museum is perhaps best known for its sobering look at the Holocaust, its victims, and survivors. Nowadays, the Jewish Museum is a living and breathing institution, with numerous concerts and events hosted here throughout the year. 4. National Gallery. Located in numerous buildings that are scattered about the city, the National Gallery in Prague hosts a wonderful collection of artworks and is one of the largest museums in Central Europe. Covering a huge range of different art movements, epochs, and artists, the extensive galleries are delightful to explore, and the ever-changing temporary exhibitions keep the museum fresh and fun to visit. Featuring paintings by such renowned artists as Picasso, Monet, and Van Gogh, the National Gallery is a must-see when in Prague, as it has so many amazing artworks on show. 3. National Technical Museum. Full of old cars, airplanes, motorbikes and more, the National Technical Museum is perfect for anyone interested in mechanics and how things work. While there are loads of old vehicles on show, printing presses, old cameras, and cinematic equipment are also on display for visitors to enjoy. Dating from the 19th to 21st centuries, the museum is jam-packed with interesting items that are fascinating to peruse. The old car collection is undoubtedly one of its highlights, with Bugattis and Mercedes lining the halls. 2. Franz Kafka Museum. One of the city's most famous former residents, Franz Kafka was born in Prague and went on to become one of the most renowned authors of the 20th century. Nowadays in Prague, you are never far from an exhibition or monument dedicated to the great man who so influenced existentialism and modernism. Devoted to the exploration of his life and works, this lovely little museum features manuscripts, photos, diaries and more from his life. It is a fascinating affair getting to see his belongings up close. 1. KGB Museum. Full of interesting items and artifacts from when Prague was ruled by the Soviet Union, the KGB Museum is a delight to visit. The extensive collection was remarkably assembled by one enthusiastic collector, who is more than happy to explain anything you wish to know about the items on display. Propaganda posters are plastered about the place, and one of the most interesting features is the photo collection that was taken by a KGB officer in 1968. With secret spy cameras and concealed pistols on show, as well as a Vladimir Lenin death mask and equipment from KGB laboratories, this jam-packed museum is certainly captivating to explore.